Hello guys and welcome to another webinar where we would be talking about the points to consider before implementation of Magento PWA for your business. Well yes, you heard me right. In this particular webinar we are talking about the points which you should consider before implementing PWA for your particular own business. Now it does not matter whether you have an SMB business or a large scale business, you are an enterprise customer or a community customer. It does not matter on that particular part. All you have to do is like stick to us. We'll be listing down some valid points which should be a must consider for your own benefit. With this note, this is Akash. Along with me I have my co-host for this particular session, Vikalp. Vikalp is a senior software developer at Set Commerce and an expert in Magento PWA, much more than me. So we would be talking about Magento PWA, what is PWA, and further the benefits which you will be getting with the help of PWA. Now, the discussion today we are having is wholly about a very basic part of PWA, like understanding first what is PWA, how effective is PWA for your particular store. Then what will be the benefits of a PWA over native mobile applications. Moving ahead, we have like how PWA helps us in eliminating hurdles. Also, the best part would be like what points you should consider before implementing a PWA. Also, we'll be talking about how Magento PWA Studio can help you. Now, at the last, we'll be letting you know about how you can implement the theme of Set Commerce, which is recently released with the name of Senior. Now, talking about PWA, the only things which comes to my mind is progressive web app. But guys, that's not all. We have Vikalp over here. Vikalp is an expert in PWA. So Vikalp, what would you like to let our listeners know about PWA?
Yes, thank you Akash and hello everyone. So Akash, you mentioned that the only thing you know about PWA is progressive web apps.
Yes, being like a layman, I generally ask you a question like, what according to you is PWA?
So it's not up to the progressive web apps. So we can see that mobile commerce is an emerging thing today.
Okay.
And the majority of users use their smartphones to stay connected 24/7 for most of their daily tasks, right? The reason for this is portability, easy access to the internet, and the number of services and facilities available online.
Okay.
Right. So with more users, the companies also focus on how to engage them more. Although companies have their dedicated native apps, many users will still prefer web version to avoid downloading and installing of applications.
Okay.
Right. So this is the problem, and it is overcome by the PWA. So that's why we can say that the world of e-commerce is buzzing with PWA currently.
That's right.
Yeah. So for your question, in simple words, progressive web apps are web applications that load in a web browser just like a web pages or websites.
Okay.
It gives you a rich mobile experience via native-like functionalities such as ability to work offline, push notifications, and device hardware accessibility. So the advent of PWA has tackled multiple challenges that e-commerce website owners face while developing the native mobile apps to capture the ever-increasing pool of mobile users. So PWAs are meant to take advantage of the native apps without requiring the user to visit the app store or downloading or installing the app.
That's a very interesting point.
Yes, it's amazing.
So this basically means that the users don't need to download any app.
No.
They just need to go on the browser, hit a particular URL, and that's it.
That's it. So there are some definitions from the other sources which state PWA as PWA web apps combines everything that is good about a native mobile application with everything that is great about a mobile website.
It's some complicated thing. Get it in a more simple words.
Yes, if we talk about in simple words, it would be like that you will have the best of web plus the best of native apps. You'll get both of them.
That's great.
So this is PWA, and which is just websites that took all the right vitamins.
Okay.
Now that you understand what PWA is and why it came into existence, there are some reasons, the main reasons for which we can say the key aspects. So would you like to tell about this?
Yeah, sure. So because like you said that we are technically not saying that native apps aren't useful for heavy use of everyday tasks like communicating. Like let's say if I am a user of messengers or phone apps, they basically need access to the OS directly. So it makes sense that they are particularly native apps.
Yes.
But beyond the basics, is there a really need for anything else to be a native app? Well, I don't think so. PWA is a all-in-one solution for a site app to be delivered across all the devices without hassle-free app store distribution. So if I'll have to give you an example, like the three simple reasons Vikalp would be over here: reliable, fast, and engaging. Yes, guys, you heard me right. Reliable, fast, and engaging. You can see it in front of your screen. Reliable as they load instantly, fast as they respond quickly, engaging as they feel much more natural. Like for instance, I have a case study over here for Twitter. If you log in Twitter in your web page, it works same as like it works in your native application.
Yes.
There are no major differences involved. It provides you offline usage, it provides you push notifications, there's everything available just on the web click. So Vikalp, like we said about the reasons to choose native web app or PWA, why you should choose PWA, there might be some flaws in the native app. So according to you, what those will be?
Yes, the native apps, the first reason is very simple. The native apps are very lengthy downloading process. That first we need to download the application from the respective store, then we need to install it. But in case of PWA, there is nothing like that.
Okay.
Right? Native apps are platform dependent, whereas there is no such thing in progressive web apps. There is same source code which will work for both iOS and Android in case of PWA. Also in native app, we need to write the code for both Android and iOS separately, which will surely take a lot of time. Whereas in PWA, code is platform independent, so it will surely save our time and which will help us in reducing the cost. Right? And native apps require frequent updates, but in case of PWA, you just need to relaunch the app and all the updated features will be on your screen.
So basically it means that just one click and you need to relaunch the app and the updates will be flown into the web pages.
Yeah, there is no hassle to submit the app and wait for the approvals.
Yeah, that's the main point which I was coming on to.
Yes.
So Vikalp, now since you have given us a digest about what are the flaws in the native apps, further what our listeners would like to know is like about the benefits which PWA would have over native apps. Like now we know what are the flaws in native apps. Now why should we just go with PWA? There are responsive websites as well. Why not responsive websites? They are also working better than native applications.
Yes, totally.
So what would you be intervening into this?
Okay, so we have a representation for the features regarding to PWA.
Okay.
So we can see there's 3 columns each for the mobile native applications, the responsive websites, and the PWA of course.
Okay, and I can see you have ticked and crossed on some of them.
Yes, so these are some functionalities which some of the functionalities available in the native mobile app, some of the functionalities available in the websites.
Right.
But PWA holds all of them.
Okay.
Right? So by this tabular formulation, you can understand that why PWA needs.
Okay.
Right? So for that, we can move ahead and we will have some PWA barriers for which it come into existence. Right?
The concept for a PWA is very simple. They are the websites that feel like apps you would find in an app store. Well, yes, technically they do have some sort of things which they do mostly. Now they can be accessed through conventional URLs with HTTPS. This makes them search friendly for search engines. This way, they removes the barrier for the functionalities from the traditional native apps. So now Vikalp, let's consider them with the help of points one by one.
Yes.
Like I have given a particular overview about like they are those apps which can be accessed with URLs with the HTTPS. They are somewhat similar than native apps, but not native apps. But talking about the barriers, let's talk one by one. So first thing is like page load time and working offline. So
yes, it's an important barrier as everyone hates to wait for an application to load, right?
Okay.
So they can use it. It almost reduces the 50% chances of using the application. So PWA reduces the page load time as content are already being cached and are shown instantly. So with the help of service worker, PWA provides the offline support feature. Let me give you an idea about the service worker that makes it an important part of PWA. So a service worker is a script that your browser runs in the background separate from the web page, opening the door to features that don't need a web page or user interactions. So today they are already including features like push notifications, background syncing. And in the coming future, service workers might support other things like periodic syncing, geofencing with an offline access, for example. like it can benefit businesses with the product catalog that people can view in the offline mode, and as a result potential increase in customers retention and engagement rates, right? So another factor which is very important for the PWA removing the barriers is the responsive. As PWA apps are responsive, they adapt to various screen sizes, desktop, mobile, tablet, or dimensions that can be later available.
Okay.
Yeah, PWA is nothing but a superset and are superior to responsive web apps as they provide additional benefits. They add many mobile specific benefits such as GPS, camera support, push notifications, or sensor support, right? Another important aspect for removing the barrier will be the app-like interactions. Like we already discussed, that PWA removes as they are designed like apps, yet it consists all the functionalities of the websites. They behave with the user as if they were native apps. So in terms of interaction, navigation without need to download the app, and then providing the additional permissions.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Now another point will be beneficial for the businesses who already have their things on them, right? So PWA apps are identified as applications and are indexed by the search engines. PWAs are great for SEO. They can also boost the accessibility and searchability of your app, right? These apps loads faster and has made an impact on search engine ranking as faster loading apps.
So, like PWAs, like you talked about SEO, that may be a main point for our listeners. In terms of SEO, like since PWA are like compatible with the SEO and they get accessed on all the search engines available for our app, so that makes a valid sense that why you should move ahead with PWA.
Yes, that also will add a success to your SEO strategy.
Exactly.
Yeah. So businesses are always being looking for the things.
Yeah, which are SEO friendly.
Yes. So the next point will be the store independent. As PWA apps are store independent, they don't need to be like uploaded on any of the stores, whether it's Android or iOS. They don't need to be published. So it is less time consuming actions, and your developers can push new features without waiting for the approvals from the stores. And the best part, Akash, these apps automatically updates when a user relaunches the app.
Yeah, we were just discussing this point. Like as the admin relaunches the app, it gets an automatic update. There's nothing like you need to install the update and those lengthy 1 GB updates which we used to install for Facebook or Instagram.
It just updates all the points. What are the features the developers have provided you? You just need to relaunch the app and all those features will be in your hand.
Very good.
Okay.
Now, moving ahead, we have some sort of the points which we need to consider before implementation of the PWA. Well, yes, listeners, that was our main goal for this particular webinar. Now, we already discussed about what PWA is. Now, reasons also why we should use it. Further, what will happen if we remove the barrier? What barriers does PWA remove? Now, then we need to consider some points before consideration to adopt PWA for your business and implementation. So, the initial point would be like consideration of a perfect technology and having expertise and experience. So, for this, like we have the experience over here with the name of Vikalp. He will be assisting you on that.
Yes, Akash, that's the main point for the businesses why they should implement, right? So for that, they should be like there are certain points they need to be sure about it. The first one, which is the basic one, you need to choose the right technology, whether it's React, Vue, or Angular.
Obviously,
right?
Yeah.
And for this, you need to find the experts of this technology so that the things will be streamlined in a process, and which will increase the chances that this implementation will be a success. Right. So if we talk about the next point, that is you already have some of your native apps available in your store. So for business owner who already has settled in market and have a reach for their customer base, they need to be very clear. They need to be very clear that whether the changes are ready to accept the challenges or not. Right.
Okay.
So before moving to PWA from the traditional app, they need to be very sure.
Okay, now in terms of like the vision to evolve the business with PWA is like before implementing the PWA on your already well settled business, you need to have a vision for your phase. through which you will be able to move ahead with the plan for the PDA. Like even if you have a startup, PWA may suit you in terms of costing and timelines, yet you need to be a visionary and go forward approach with PWA.
Yes.
Now, in terms of platform integrations, that's another important aspect which our listeners have to consider.
It is an important aspect to consider as PWA is new in the market, and surely no doubt it has the capabilities to tackle all the challenges for better UI, more speed and other functionalities. Yet currently everything is not available in PWA.
Okay.
Although the rapid growth, the community is in full swing to add more features as soon as possible, right? But now, as we already discussed what PWA is, your website application may have other integrations which may not be yet available in PWA. So for flawless functioning of your business, you need to have a PWA with those integrations. So you need to be sure about the availability of the integrations you have, right? So to go forward with PWA, business needs to have a solid plan for future aspects. If we talk about in terms of process, functionality, all these changes as PWA, it is already still evolving, right?
Understood.
So that plans will help you better to come all the challenges you will face.
Okay, so you
right?
need to have your own development team before implementation of
Yes.
PWA, so that you can consider about if there is anything which is not available on PWA, will that be able to be generated or not? How will that be created? How much time will it take? So those all things need to be considered. I got that. Okay. Now these are the considerations you need to follow for PWA before adding to your business. Now once you have decided to go forward with the fast evolving PWA, now how PWA will benefit the business, or what we can say is that how it will impact your business. We have some slides over here, we have some presentations over here.
Yes.
Now PWA basically works on the larger audience which we know. So for that, like Vikalp, would you like to intervene into this?
Yes, it is an important aspect that the most important aspect of having a PWA implemented to your business is to reach out the users who are missed by the majority of websites, right? So with PWA, the app can be installed with an ease, and this will open the gates to target the users who do not have installed the native apps, right? It will surely give you a website a brand new look, and which is fast, easy to install, and will have more functionalities like offline work, push notifications, etc. Like every business needs to have a makeover for them as the audience demands something new, right? Also in the market, there are always a competition to present yourself as a unique and different.
Obviously, yes.
So with these things, it will increase the customer bases. Like as PWA have the functionalities like cross-platform compatibility, which makes the app to be available for everyone who installs it. So this surely increase the customer to make and purchase from your business app. Right? The push notification, offline access to the application, improved performance, all these criteria will increase the customer conversion rate as compared to the traditional app. Right? Akash, since we know PWA can be installed directly from the browser itself, and it cuts the process of visiting the app store and installation process. Right? So it engages the users to use the app rather than bounce back and leave the applications. You can use push notification for promotional offers, and the ultra fast speed are also the key aspects which increase the user activity on the applications, and that will surely help you in business growth. Right? So another point is that developing PWA app in terms of cost is less than development of traditional app, because you just need to develop a PWA rather than developing two versions of app, right? So for that, in terms of development cost, it is very effective. You just need to build a PWA app and that will run everywhere. Now there are some points that if you have followed all these things and you will have an impact on your business growth. There were some points which will retain your sustainability in the business.
Yeah, eventually, like with the impact of PWA on your business, you will be able to enhance the area for the users by making a brand new look of PWA for your business. Now, this will basically increase the users conversion and will also boost your user engagement on your app, which basically means like you are getting both the benefits. One is user conversion plus the user engagement. That means like the stay time will increase.
Yes.
And it will surely sustain the business in the particular following concepts.
Yes. So as the technology changes with time, business needs to upgrade themselves. That's a motto.
I know that, yeah.
So with new ideas, competition, you have to update yourself to PWA.
Okay.
So when you have updated yourself to PWA, you're already a step ahead in the league.
Okay.
Right? So this will surely sustain your value among the market. Like Akash, everybody says that progressive web apps are fast.
Okay.
But whether they are faster than traditional apps? PWAs work faster due to specific technology of caching, improved website and performance affects the conversion, user experience and retention rates.
Okay.
Right. So here's the slide. We have some stats.
Yeah, I'd like to present them up. Like the main benefits for PWA to give businesses over responsive websites are basically the increase in websites, the increase in speed improvements, or in audience. Google states that 53% of the users will mind it Vikal, 53% of the users will abandon a site if it takes longer than 3 seconds to load.
Yes, totally.
Which basically means that you just have a 3-second slot to engage your user. If you miss that, your user will go.
Yes.
Now, some big brands which are presented in this particular slide, they have been using PWA. With first, I have Trebo. Like the day when Trebo implemented PWA as a solution in its business model, within few months they saw a phenomenal growth in their results as their conversion rate increased by 4 times, trust me, 4 times, and the page load speed turned out to be 1.5 seconds faster on mobile.
That's huge.
It's like Google says 3 seconds, Trebo was 1.5, that's 50% less than that. Second one is Forbes. Well, yes, Forbes also implemented PWA for the website, due to which their mobile page speed time turned out to be 2.5 seconds, which is under the benchmark, which also resulted in an increase with the customer implementation of count by 20%. Well, that's technically a good number for Forbes as well. If we talk about Twitter, well, everyone is on Twitter. Twitter developed a version like Twitter Lite for instant loading, user engagement, and lesser data consumption, because that's what everyone is talking about. Now the results were completely mind-boggling. Let's say 65% increase in page session, 75% increase in tweets sent, that's what Twitter revolves around, plus 20% decrease in the bounce rate. So this basically means it was a win-win situation for Twitter. Now in terms of some Indian brands, like let's say Make My Trip, the progressive web app, and their conversion rate when they implemented PWA, their conversion rates were improved by 38%. Further, we have many more examples that who opted for PWA and the results were very good. Uber focused on a low network area. Like let's say if there's a person sitting in a village and he wants to book an Uber, so Uber wants it to be accessed with the help of 2G network. That flexibility was provided to Uber by PWA.
Yes, so they have more areas to target the audience.
Obviously,
and
yes.
Their users.
Obviously, yes. Now, in this particular slides, we have some stats from the live business environment. So, Vikal, your lead on that.
Yes, as we can say that we can see clearly 2.7 billion smartphone users around the world, right? So, with the help of PWA, the 33% is the decrease in the development and maintenance cost. Like before PWA, you need that much amount of money and time you will invest, but with the PWA, 33% time and money is decreased.
Oh,
so that's huge. Also, the increase in mobile traffic is increased by 68%.
Okay.
68%, more than 50%.
That's really great.
And also the 8% increase in recovered shopping carts. Like the people who left the items in their shopping carts, there's an increase in 8% who fulfill their orders, right? So the more mobile and sales revenues are also increased by 20%. If a business has gone for the PWA, their revenues are almost up with the 20% sale.
Okay.
Right. So these are some stats which we have here. Now, if we move forward, we have that the PWA is there, okay, and the user enhancement is there. So the basic reason for these statics are PWA feels like a native app.
I understood that.
Feels like and it offers the same experience as the native one.
Which means an enriched user experience.
Yes, enriched user experience.
And that's the topic for our next slide.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the topic for our next slide. Well, the basic reason for these statistics are because the PWA feels like a native app and offers the same experience as a native one. It loads, runs and functions in a web browser just like a native app. This enhances the user experience and helps in the business to sustain the features. Now the organizations who are still behind on the web UX, they might have not shifted to a responsive or adaptive web design, should seriously consider a one-time leap towards PWA. Let's take the jump from directly from a static web page to a dynamic and the most latest PWA app.
Yes.
Now, as this will get them a better way to engage their customers and to leverage with their benefits.
Totally. So these are the benefits and the things which we need to consider for the PWA.
Okay.
Now we can see that Magento PWA Studio is a buzz today.
Yeah,
right?
that's the main thing.
That's the main thing. The PWA has implemented Magento has implemented the PWA and made a PWA Studio. So we can say that Magento has made a contribution towards the PWA, and Magento PWA Studio is the best example of how important progressive web application has become for e-commerce.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we say that Magento has launched a set of tools for all the merchants with online stores. This suite of tools is known as Magento PWA Studio. It will save the online merchant a whole lot of capital and efforts to build a native apps to suit all the different OSs.
Okay.
By providing the tools to design app-like websites, Magento has increased the chances of all the online merchants to amplify their mobile conversion rate by improving the cross-channel experience for the customers. The Magento PWA Studio project is a set of developer tools that allow for the development, deployment and maintenance of a PWA storefront on top of Magento 2.3 and above versions.
Okay.
Right. So it is a big thing.
Obviously it is. The next thing which we have is like the headless commerce vehicle. In the simplest way, headless commerce means that the website's front end and back end are independent of each other. Technically, it divides the content presentation layer, is separated from the business logic and the functional layer, which basically provides you the dynamic of store language plus the API layer and the business mobile applications plus the browser.
Yes, totally.
So with the help of GraphQL, this can be implemented very easily.
Yes.
So Vikal, what's your take on this?
Yeah, with the headless commerce, as you have said, that it divides the back end and front end functionalities.
Exactly. It sets them apart.
So it has a huge benefit on the environment.
Okay.
Like if we talk about in terms of speed, with this integration of new features can be applied in less time, cost and energy, because the two entities are different.
Okay.
Right. In terms of personalizations, because headless systems are separate and therefore undisruptive to each other, you can experiment without fear of slowing your website down. Right. So for the flexibility, it gives you flexibility for the teams to work on the front end without disrupting the back end functionalities.
Got it.
Right. And there's always the scope of customization.
Okay.
As the architecture is separated, you will have free scope to modify or work upon the things according to your business requirements.
Got it.
Right. So now this is for the headless part, and the most exciting part of this webinar will be we will be presenting the SetCommerce new PWA theme, Senior.
Yeah.
Senior it is.
Yeah, that's what I was also waiting for.
This is the best part. So SetCommerce is already working on PWA Studio when it was launched.
Okay.
Right. So we are happy to share with you our Magento PWA theme Senior that is created by our SetCommerce team and which is based on PWA Studio tools and practices. So our team has worked on the Venia concept available in the Magento 2 PWA Studio to give it a fresh new look and add the following features. So currently our theme is compatible with PWA Studio version 3 and very soon it will work for the PWA Studio version 4.
That's great.
Yeah. So we have some screenshots of how the Senior theme looks like.
This is the actual Senior theme,
Yes,
which you are seeing.
Yes, we have created a Senior theme. You just need to download it. It's a PWA theme. It will get installed in your mobile application, mobiles, and it will just give you a feel what we have discussed about the PWA.
Free or paisa?
It is free.
It is free.
It is free.
That's a plus point for you listeners.
Yes.
You can just go ahead and download that app. That's it.
Yes. We have worked on the theme with the customized homepage section. We have worked on the newsletter section, the category navigation sections. You can say that we have added the banner slide. We have added the banner slide, category listing, product sliders. We have a brand new footer design and many more.
So everything is just automated into this. You just need to install and the things will be done. You will be having your own PWA website, listeners. So if you are working still on a UI UX part, just download Senior. It's free of cost and it's easy to use.
Akash, I'll just show you a live demo for that.
Yeah, sure,
how the things will be shown.
Is it possible?
Yes, it is possible. Okay, we can see the things here. So we have installed the Senior theme.
So this is a Magento backend, listeners.
Yes.
And over here we have installed the CED PWA.
Yes.
Which is SetCommerce Senior theme.
Yes. So for that we need to go to the configurations. I have already opened the configuration point here.
Okay.
So here are the configurations which you want to show on your theme in the front end.
Okay.
Like if you want to show a slider on your home page, you can accept it yes and save the configuration.
Got it.
Similar goes with the trending products, latest products, category banners, categories banners block, and many more things.
So these are all the set of features. Provided. Now the front end is something
like that.
That's fabulous.
Yes, this is the banner slider.
Looks that clean look. Yeah. That's sleek look. Yeah.
We have added the things for that. We have added the static blocks for this thing. You can add the things in the back end, and all will be listed out in front end.
Okay.
If you just scroll down below, you can see the latest product grid. We have added the brand new footer for that. Right? Innovative. Yes. So we worked on the concept of Venia to present you the brand new Senior. You can say that. Okay. So along with these features, we have also working on the many parts which are not completed yet. Okay. So we are working on order section, the quantity increment section on the product page.
So, but those will be released in the recent in the year 2020. You can expect the maximum out of it.
Yes. Currently, like this part of theme is available, and users can go and download it from the SetCommerce website, and you can share your feedback with us.
Obviously.
Okay. And we will soon be releasing the Pro Senior theme, which will have more enhanced features.
Okay, so that will have something else.
You just need to wait for the launch.
So it's like our listeners, you need to be sticking to your screens because that will be listed out recently.
If like I can give you a slight hint what will be there. We have the category page with infinity scroller. Like all the users will need to buy the third-party add-ons for that.
Okay.
Right, we will be providing that in the Senior theme. It will have a product review section, the review submission section, forget password section, and many more. Okay. So that's the part of the Senior part.
So guys, this was it from our side, and I hope you have enjoyed the webinar with us. If you have any queries, you can write that down to us. We'll be assisting you up. Now, thanks a lot for joining in with the webinar. If you want this webinar to be repeated, we'll be surely broadcasting this on YouTube as well, so you can go ahead and listen to that. Also, do check out the theme Senior, which we have created eventually for you listeners. It's free of cost, so you can go ahead and enjoy and play with it.
Yes, you can download it and share your experience with us.
Exactly. So that's a wrap from our side. This is Akash.
And this is Vikalp.
See you on another webinar. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.